Hi Stampin' friends, tonight we're going to use the Charming Day bundle, and it also has with it the Floral Charm pattern paper. You can see here it has these really nice stamps and sentiments, but it also has a bunch of dies that cut out some pretty amazing pieces. So the this is one of the ones that it cuts out. It's like a little floral sprig, I guess you would say. And it also cuts out I did this one already, but it cuts out a nice rose. Then it cuts out a full-blown rose as well, so you could put that on the top, and then that would be kind of pretty as well. Then it cuts out another shape here that maybe you could put your full-grown rose on. And or you can use this, you know, the way Stampin' Up always uses these little sprigs, like in a clump behind something. So there are a lot of different things I kind of want to show you today. So I'm going to first show you this, which is a card I made for a group I'm in, and this was the card design, and it'll be my local class card this week as well, this week coming up. It has this suite has these gorgeous, charming, shimmer faceted dots. And you can see here they're in like a Misty Moonlight, Berry Burst, and Petal Pink. So with this one, I used Petal Pink, Lost Lagoon, and then of course, Mossy Meadow. So this was a design to use their particular design. So I put it with it. This is on the last chance list, this really pretty scalloped edge petal pink ribbon. And I think you need it if you don't have a petal pink ribbon, because it matches beautifully and it's soft and so easy to work with. What comes with this is a petal pink like binding ribbon. It's like a twill kind of thing, and there it is in the corner of your screen there. It's very stiff, very fuzzy, and when you take a picture of it, it looks okay when you just lay it against the card. It looks like an okay match. If you take a picture of it and there's a flash at all or any extra nice light going on, it will look like it doesn't match, like it's pinker than petal pink. Okay, so I'll just leave that lying there. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is show you a whole bunch made with this particular paper. And this is one of the designs, and on the back is just a Mossy Meadow, so you wouldn't have a cause to use it for much. Now this one is not my favorite, and then the back of it is this really pretty Timid Tiger. So I do think you have cause to use that. So I think that makes a nice piece for the inside of the Z-fold. And then this one as a mat. And then you would just cut out a circle or something, maybe just a smaller version of this. This is our textured notes. That might be perfect to put on the inside, just the smaller rectangle from that. So my plan here was to use the matching colors. You can see they're in Berry Burst, Petal Pink, and Timid Tiger. And so my thinking was on this to just add them all on here, and maybe a happy birthday in the middle, or maybe you'll do a different happy birthday. I've got some here in a pecan pie. You might want to put that in the center for contrast, because there is pecan pie. I used pecan pie in the centers of each of these. So anyway, just kind of make that into a little look there. And then of course, if you wanted to use some of these, I would stay away from the blue, of course, because there's no blue on this card. And I would add maybe these two, or, you know, we have the gorgeous, hold on just a second, I don't want to call them the wrong name. Flat pearls, the in color flat pearls, and they are in the Timid Tiger. That's actually what I think would be the most beautiful with this card. I also wanted to kind of go through here and show you how I colored this, because I went back to my old aqua painter, and you can use, you know, whatever you find, because we don't sell any kind of water painter or aqua painter anymore. So that's kind of unusual. But I really think that a majority of the time, this looks more light and pretty than our blends. Our blend colors are so intense, and then it's too much. If you use the full color strength, even using the watercoloring on this Timid Tiger, it's pretty dark. So using the full strength blends is very dark. So I wanted to just go over some little tips on using your paintbrush, water painters, whatever, to complete your card. So I'm just trying to do this quickly. The only thing is, it's no problem that I've stamped in Mossy Meadow when I'm painting these leaves. They look just great. But in the center, you have to be careful not to get your water on your centers, you know, on your part, because it will smear it. Now, if you didn't want to have to worry about that at all, if you wanted to be able to, what I did on these was wait a little while before I did it. But if you don't want to wait, that's totally fine. I typically use the StazOn. And now I'm going to work on the Berry Burst. I've cleaned my brush just on some paper underneath my workspace here. And then I'm just adding a little bit here, and I'm going to try not to get too much water. I don't want to do any squeezing that will cause it to get to where it's oozing out and flooding the paper. I want to get the paper wet but not flooded. So what I'm doing is washing over each space of the petals, and I'm making sure that I have certain spots darker than others, just for looks. Okay, put a little more over there. So variety is always good on this. You want to get it where it looks different. It doesn't just all look the same. All right. So now I'm going to use, for the center, this is actually the part I wanted to show you, what I think makes it look like it matches with the papers the most. And this would be this paper, and then also this paper over here. So I'm going to use the Pecan Pie and just dab over the center like this. And as I do that, I think you'll see the green start to come out in this. So as the green kind of smears, and it doesn't look quite as dark as what we see in this one. So I just got a little bit of Timid Tiger and popped it up on here just to give it a little bit more matchy-matchy. All right, so there you can see that. I'm just going to close this up. You do need a firm bristle on your brush, I think, in order to make this work the best it can for you. And you'll see I did a little better job on this one than I did on this one. That one started kind of oozing out of the center there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use my Stampin' Seal. Because I think it'll be faster than using the, I usually use my little, like, glue gun, I guess you would say. It's like a little glue dispenser, but I think it'll work better for me if I use the Stampin' Seal, because I can go a little faster on this. Now this is a Z fold. I think we've done these so many times that if you watch a lot, you'll just be bored with this. But the measurements, in case you don't watch a lot. It's a 4 1/4 by 11 sheet of cardstock. It's scored at 5 1/2 and 2 3/4. Now when I say this, I should have turned it like this, because there you can see there's the 5 1/2, there's the 2 3/4, and that's how it's scored. All right, so I'm going to put this, and if you like this side, you could certainly put that on the inside there, because it does have the Mossy Meadow. I just prefer that, to me, when leaves are both blue and green, that's a little bit much. So I'm going to use the orange side. Sometimes you see these with a little band across the bottom that kind of adds a little bit more to this. Like it's like a 1.5 or 1.25 inch strip of cardstock going across here. Scored the other way, it kind of makes it into a cutesy little thing. So that's another possibility that you might want to consider with that. Now when you put this on, it's often a good idea to use a piece of tear tape or something a little stronger, maybe our Stampin' Seal Plus. And then remember, only put it on this side. You don't want to have a problem. Now, since I don't know where mine ran off to, I'm just going to put about 3 strips, don't want to get any more than that, on the back of the Stampin' Seal. And then I'm just going to center it up here in the center as best I can. Approximately the same amount on each side. Try to be sure that I have it somewhat centered. All right. And then let's see here. I tried to decide which one. I stamped these both in Mossy Meadow. Trying to decide which one I think would look better. That one on there. Kind of tuck those together. I don't think I need more than 3. You know, we like things to be in 3s, so I don't think I need more than 3. So I kind of like that layout, which means I'll probably want to turn it around when I go to stick it down. All right, I'm gonna just put this on in the center. Move those just so I can see what I'm doing to get it centered. And then I'm just gonna pop a dimensional on the back of each of these for placement. Then if I think I need to secure them a little more, then I can do that. There we go. Put this on like that. Like this. And the main reason I felt like I needed to do this right side up is to be sure that I put my paper on the right side and then put these on in the correct way. I might want to turn that. Yeah, I do like that better. And then put this one down here in the corner. Like that. Okay, so there you can see that all I need to do now is just add a piece here in the center, and I'll have a pretty decent little card for someone for their birthday. Oh, I do need to put on my bling. I am leaning toward, I think, these pink ones because they're so pretty and I haven't used them yet. I don't want them to feel sad that they've been left out. And I think that, look at the huge contrast between the Mossy Meadow and this gorgeous Berry Burst, Petunia Pop, whichever it is. I think that finishes it off nicely. You could, of course, put a ribbon to match or whatever if you have it, but I think that this is sufficient if you don't have a ribbon to match. I've been trying to focus on that lately because I've noticed that our ribbons don't seem to last very long in the online store or in, you know, so sometimes we don't have the exact matching ribbon that you might hope for when you're working on something. Okay, hold on just a second. I got a little bit sticky right there. Okay. So on this one, what I was hoping to show you was just the same, virtually the same thing, but with the die cuts that are in this. So there you can see the same paper on both the Petal Pink and the Mossy Meadow. So here what I did, I was thinking about turning this into a pretty little design to put on here. Now I could put a circle here and that would make a good place to stamp a sentiment if I had a small enough one. You could also put your sentiment on top of it or beside it and, you know, have it over here like that. But I wanted to show you what I was thinking here on these. So you want to show, I've colored this with a blend, with our blends, the Mossy Meadow. And then I wanted to have the leaves show on the one side. So I'm just going to cut that off. Now I have before, in the past, made a really pretty card that had lots of views on Pinterest, all in white. But when I do that, I just kind of want to do something different. I mean, it was a lot of fun, but it's a lot of white as well. And we're kind of coming into fall. So that's my plan with this. So all I did there was just cut off my leaves from the petal pink piece. I guess I better put this where you can see what I'm doing. And then just pop this on there like that. Now in this case, I am definitely going to use my glue dispenser here. Whoops. And this is our multi green capped glue, put into a different holder from a different company that I just think works really well for me. Sometimes when I'm using the green glue, I get it in a lot of places that I don't intend to have it, things like that. Now here there are options that I think is kind of weird. You could offset this, and that way what's behind it is just a little bit of green, or you can line it up and get it exactly perfect. Whichever one you think looks the best. Let me know which one you think looks prettier or whatever. I just think that is a cute look. So let me go ahead and switch this back to our happy birthday. And I'm gonna leave the circle under there because then you can see white under this just as an option. And then you can put the happy birthday there. So then that one kind of brings out the leaves. Whereas if you put it on the petal pink, it makes a lighter and brighter card and brings out the petal pink. So my goal with this was to just show you that your choice of card base does make a big difference in how your card may be perceived. If you're wanting it to look like it's definitely fall, I think going with a green base, possibly using gold colored accents will make your card look more fall. But if you're going for a happy birthday, spring, just a celebration, a lot of times the lighter colors give you a great look. Now, one other thing that I wanted to show you was this this little, I guess you would call it a here we go, a sprig, and you could put this on top of it, and that kind of looks sweet with that as well. Now, I think these look like they are these flowers, and they look like they're the flowers from our other card. I don't think it looks like it goes exactly with this. So what I was thinking with that was using this, the one that you would call the backside, but this Timid Tiger, and it has so many lighter colors here. I think you could stamp this in Timid Tiger as well and do the same thing that we did with the first card here by coloring in with watercolor. But I also think it could be pretty, and just because we don't see a lot of orange roses, it could be pretty to have a little rose on here like that, and then add in your happy birthday and some pretty ribbon. Now I would glue that down. Of course, I'm becoming mindful of your time, so I may skip a few steps on this here and there, but putting a happy birthday, putting some ribbon, and the great thing about using anything that's Timid Tiger is we have beautiful ribbon in all of our in colors for next year. So we have this year, we have the Timid Tiger, we have Darling Duckling, and then we have a real pretty Strawberry Slush. That's a nice pink. The Cloud Cover, that's kind of a gray blue. And then the super dark Secret Sea. So let me go ahead and pop this on here. I'm gonna just put some adhesive. That's another thing that the Stampin' Seal is better for than the glue for me, is getting that. Oh, and I should have done what I always show you guys, is line it up on the back here I didn't do that. So let me scooch that up just a little and get it lined against the grid paper. All right, that's pretty good. And then I'll just go ahead and, that's the back side, kind of. Just go ahead and pop this on. That's only adhered at the bottom, so I mean at the bottom, so I'll have to be a little careful, but maybe I'll put a little tiny bit up here and then I can use more later. All right, so then you might, and I like to lighten things up, that's why I use this soft seafoam, and I just cut off where the leaves were, and then I'll glue it on here. This would not be one that I would offset at all, like I had mentioned earlier. Oh, hi Lois, it's great to see you. Thank you for hopping by. So I would just put that maybe right there, and then add the happy birthday, and then, I don't know if I've left myself enough ribbon. We'll have to see. Well, I think I might have. I'll have to work with it a little bit, but I do think I left myself enough ribbon to make a bow. That was pretty simple. I just tie my bows like tying shoes and then twist them a little bit to get them how I want them. So that could be cute, putting it up on the rose, putting it down here, putting it over on the side, kind of tilted. I think that's probably my favorite way for using that. Then I'm just going to even up the ends. And set that on there. I do think with this particular paper and bundle that there are so many different looks that you can get with it because the papers are so different. And let me go ahead and scoot that over here and move on to, oh, that was another thing I was going to do and I forgot. You could also mount this, and you can, I can't see it now, mount this on the soft seafoam to give it a lighter look if you're looking for a lighter look. That was another thing I was going to say. All right, so this next one, the back side is the Misty Moonlight, and it has the same pattern as the orange. So if orange isn't your thing, you could do the same thing with a blue. Maybe use a different flower or something just to contrast. Maybe this type flower. Okay, so what I did here was I cut out a couple of different sprigs. So this is our pretty peacock. That's the color that's in there. And then our Misty Moonlight. So this is one of those sprig ones, you'd say. Oh, and I forgot to show you, this would have been gorgeous. I was going to mention that this would have been gorgeous under there as well, if you'd like that. So, forgot that. This is our banner styes. So then I'm just put this on here. And I have that, that just provides a foil, I think, having the white with the contrast. Now you could put this floral on here, paint it the way that I painted the other one. I stamped this in Misty Moonlight, and for some reason my Misty Moonlight is almost the same color, pretty peacock. It has some green in it. I don't really think it's supposed to, so I wonder if I've done something wrong. It's totally possible. So I would put the happy birthday down here, and then I would add some Misty Moonlight ribbon, probably across. I won't make you watch me do that. That right across there. Whoops, silly me. And if you saw that on the back, when you make a mistake, that's the great thing about cardstock, you know, there's two different sides. And then here I did the same thing, practicing that I did with the other one, but instead I put the flower on the top. Now, I think the flower looks better on the top than putting the, you know, the way we did on the other one was we put the, well, and now I've like completely lost it. It fell off. Putting this piece on the top is one option, but this one I put the flower on the top of the leaves. So then you might put that right there, and you might, you know, play with it, decide which one you think looks better, that sort of thing. Oops, gosh. Okay. And then you could also, like I said, put this one on the top. It kind of blends it together. Now, I wasn't totally sure if I thought this was fresh freesia or if I thought it was bubble bath. So Another thing to kind of remember is you could probably use either one. So to give it a more fall look, that definitely works. But also the beautiful light pink, pinky purple bubble bath is gorgeous as well with this. Just makes it so simple and so pretty and light. Now here it is with the, whoops, I got it upside down. Cut that one at the top. I have the fold at the top with the fresh freesia. And then this one I didn't think looked very matchy-match with all the others, which is great sometimes because sometimes you want some that aren't. But I do think the best thing to do on this particular pattern, which has the Blackberry Bliss on the back, and this isn't quite as Blackberry Bliss as I kind of perceive it to be, but I would cut one of these out and pop it on a circle and put it on the front. That was my plan with that, and I have one laying around my house somewhere, so that will be a way to finish that and get that one looking good. And I think I like this with the teal, but there's just a ton of options. So I want this little happy birthday, and then because I think the blue looks really nice with it. But you could also use just these under, I meant to say this earlier, that's why I'm saying it now, sorry. Put these under here just as an accent. And then when you put your rose on the top, it just adds a little bit more contrast. You could even put one of the ones that may not necessarily match for added emphasis underneath it. So just for looking. So this one I've got the center cut out that I'm going to put on it. It's the berry burst. This one I'm going to finish coloring and add some bling. Probably those same ones that I used earlier that match. I'll probably use these two on this one. I think that will look really great. And then with this one, we're just going to finish it up. I think it's kind of an unusual color combination that you may not have imagined. And then this one just has this die cut as the main focus, like the one below it, like this one with the die cut. And it's amazing to me that all of these are in the same bundle. So I do think it is a good value for us because there are so many different ways to make and paint flowers. And of course you could not even use this, and this would be a great one. Back in the day, we had something called one sheet wonders where you cut, you stamp the whole sheet, color it in. You also wouldn't need to color it in. You could just stamp it all in a blue or a red or whatever color appeals to you and make it look like a toile. And so since we have such nice pieces here, they would be great on a one sheet wonder. So then we have this one that I made, and then this one. I appreciate you all watching, and I hope that you have a great weekend. Thanks for stopping by.